guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, Naturally Sade. Today we are going to be diving into the topic of hair porosity, if you have not already read the title of this video. So if you don't already know what hair porosity is or what it means, it's basically the rate at which your hair absorbs and retains moisture or water. Each of our hair strands has an outer layer called the cuticle, which is what opens up to allow moisture in and onto the hair strand. How easily the cuticle flaps open up and also how well they stay closed is what determines hair porosity. There are 3 levels of hair porosity: low, medium or normal, and high porosity. And depending on hair porosity, some products will work better than others. Low porosity means your hair's cuticles are tightly closed, which makes it hard for moisture and water to get into your hair strand. This also leads to hair products just sitting on top of the hair instead, leaving the hair strand dry. Products to avoid for low porosity hair include anything that is not water-based or water-soluble. Avoid it, because all it's going to do is make your hair dry and it's not going to give you any moisture. Products like oils, butters, oil-based pomades will leave your hair dry because they don't have any water, so there is no moisture to put into your hair. The best products for low porosity hair would be super moisturizing leave-ins and creams, which you would want to apply on really damp hair or wet hair, so that way it kind of thins out the product and makes it easier to get through that hair cuticle. And also for low porosity hair, you want to use deep conditioners that are moisture focused, and you definitely want to use a steamer or a hooded hair dryer or a blow dryer with low heat or a hot head cap, something with heat that's going to help get those cuticles opened up so that way that deep conditioner can penetrate your hair. So normal or medium porosity hair is when the hair cuticles are able to open up to allow moisture and close to retain that moisture easily, which means lower maintenance and longer lasting styles. The great news is that this hair type can take any type of products. It doesn't matter. No products are off limits to you. What you would focus on is what your hair needs. So if your hair is dry, then moisture. If your hair needs strength, then protein, etc. And with deep conditioning for you, all you need to worry about is, like I said, what your hair needs. You can either choose to use heat to help get your cuticles open even more, or you don't have to because your hair will still eventually absorb that moisture. You might just have to wait a little bit longer. Now, high porosity hair, which is the type of hair that I have, the cuticles tend to lay open and stay open, which means that the moisture is absorbed a little too easily. But the downside is that high porosity hair has a hard time retaining that moisture. The best products to use are stylers that help retain moisture and seal the cuticles, which would be oils, creams, butters. All those kinds of products help seal the cuticle down so that way the moisture can stay in. And of course you would apply those stylers after you've already put your leave-in or your moisture products. And when deep conditioning high porosity hair, you want to avoid heat and just put your deep conditioner on, put a shower cap on, and just let it sit for a couple of minutes, 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 if you're feeling extra. And that's it. You don't need a hot cap. You don't need to sit under a hooded dryer because your hair is going to easily absorb that moisture. So the big question is, how do you determine your hair porosity? There are a couple of tests out there, and I've narrowed it down to 3 tests that you can try at home to determine your hair porosity if you don't already know it. Now keep in mind that these tests must be performed on clean hair. If you try it on a strand that has hair product in it, your test results may vary and they won't be very accurate. So make sure you test it on clean hair just to be on the safe side. The first test is the float test. And for the float test, all you would do is fill up a glass cup. It doesn't technically have to be glass, but a cup or a bowl with room temperature water, and get a couple strands of your clean hair and put it in that bowl or that cup and let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes. And in those 3 to 5 minutes, if it sinks automatically to the bottom of the bowl or the cup, then you have high porosity hair. If it kind of sinks slowly and maybe floats in the middle, then you have normal to medium porosity hair. And if it just floats at the very top, then you have low porosity hair. It's not taking in any moisture, or it's taking a really long time to absorb that moisture. The second test is where you grab a strand of hair, and what you would do is, let's see, let me just grab a random strand here. So you'd grab a strand of hair, and from the bottom, from the end, you would feel going up, all the way up to your scalp. And if it feels bumpy, then you have high porosity hair. Those are your cuticles that you're feeling. And if it feels smooth, then you have low porosity hair. Low porosity or medium. And the final test is called the spray test. So what you're gonna do is take a small section of your hair. So let's say I'm testing this little section, right? So this is clean hair. Let's pretend. Clean hair, clip it back or something. And grab yourself a spray bottle and you just spray your section. And if the water stays on top, like little beads they're not soaking in, then you have low porosity hair. If your hair automatically absorbs that water and takes it in, and your section is just already soaking wet, then you have high porosity hair. If it sits on there for a couple of seconds and then it's absorbed, then you have normal to medium porosity hair. There you have it. Everything you need to know about hair porosity. The reason why it's so important to know what your hair porosity is because that will help you determine what products you need to use and what products will work best for your hair. I hope you found this video very informative and useful, and I hope that you learned something new today. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Every time I say that, I always put 2 thumbs up, but you can only give 1 thumb up. Give it a thumbs up. And while you're there, if you want to see more from me, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you can see more from me. Hey. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.